It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the AMP Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome. Finally, the day is here.
Happy Veterans Day to you.
Veterans Day tomorrow.
Actually, today's the official celebration of Veterans Day, so I would venture to say our banks are closed, stock market, I don't know if it's open or closed, post offices are closed, schools are closed, courthouses are closed, because today they celebrate Veterans Day, which is mañana.
Today is not mañana.
Tomorrow
Mañana is, yes. But
so
today
they celebrate.
Stop it, because you're confusing me. Today is J.C. Dreesen's concert.
Yes.
And we've been waiting for this for the longest. I'm going to see how long this stays on my hat, and I'll explain this in a second. We're going to be there tonight at 7 o'clock. It is not too late to get your tickets. You can get them at the door even if you want. You can go to Eventbrite. You can go to amp2.tv.
Events.amp2.tv.
Say it.
Events.amp2.tv. Or Eventbrite or Movies of Delray, or come on out and just buy your tickets there on site. Easy.
We're going to be giving away some prizes. There are going to be cruises. There are going to be restaurants. There's going to be all sorts of stuff that we're going to use to bribe you to come.
I am in charge of those again.
No, she is not.
You'll be
Absolutely not.
We've got gift cards from Pizzeria Sophia. We've
Absolutely
got Margaritaville
not.
cruises. We've got a whole lot of stuff. Tickets for Movies of Delray, I'm assuming.
Absolutely not. You're not going to be in charge of that?
How you feeling? Tired?
I'm not tired. I got my second win. I got my
You still got the
patches
paper on it.
No, this is one that was damaged, and I put it on as an extra, so I got 4.
Did you really?
1, 2, 3, 4.
I changed my patches up today. I'm wearing the Peace Patch for calmness and the
It ain't
Focus
working.
Patch.
It ain't working.
I'm very calm
No,
today.
you're not.
And the Focus Patch.
It ain't working.
More to come.
They're not working.
They are working.
You are all over the place.
Great. Wow. All I can say is last night we got to go see the, I guess, screen test premiere. It was not an opening because they're submitting it to festivals around the world.
Yes.
Peach Wine, created by 4 members of our crew. And what an honor it was to actually walk in. When I walked in and I saw Chelsea interviewing, because I know she's not part of it, just the fact that they all came together as a family and a community to support each other actually brought tears to my eyes. I know I'm such a girl. But to see how they all worked together, and Josh did the graphic design, and Nikki and Grace and all her amazing cast and crew. They had about 175 people, I think, there. Concessions were flowing, peach wine was flowing, except for G-Man, who got peach apple juice or peach juice. I don't know what he got.
183 people.
Right? What a great event. I was exhausted. They had to be totally exhausted, which is why we had no morning show, because our crew was out at a cast party last night.
Yeah, we had to give them, they went to Fat Cats or something. And that's living proof right over there
Who, Kennedy's the Fat Cat?
of what you look like after a Fat Cat. The interesting thing is the peach wine had a label. So I think that should be Josh's label. Josh, that was your label you put
Peach
together.
wine label. You did a nice job.
You saw what it said, Bear Hand?
It said peach Moscato? Moscato?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was Bear Hand instead of Barefoot.
Yes, that was very funny.
Where'd you
know,
get
I
the
didn't
bottles?
realize it. They're
Where'd you get those?
ingenious. They took wine bottles of peach wine, of whatever. They took the labels off and they put the new ones on.
Ah, that was funny. The wine thing was hilarious because, you know, anything goes when you have wine.
So when I first saw the labels, I thought, wow. I said to the girls, how'd you get them to sponsor your movie? And they said, Josh made the labels. Then I realized he took another wine and he changed it to Bare Hand, and same type of theme and same type of everything. But they look fantastic.
Ingenious. Now you're in the wine business.
But the most fun is actually watching a movie premiere with G-Man.
No.
So he's sitting next to me. And so it's G-Man, and then the whole crew's to the left of me, and then there's a row in front of us, and Andrea, and we're in the very, very back. And I've got G-Man running commentary. On a play-by-play.
on everything. He's
Yo,
like Howard
bro,
Cosell.
I'm here. I'm auditioning from the Q&A through the entire 30-minute. We should have recorded him.
Why?
Because
I
it's
get a rerun.
hilarious.
Jesus Christ Superstar. I heard him. This time I got to sit next to him to hear. I'm like, I'm going to take this with me. He said, gee, man, stop
But he's
it.
so funny.
He's hilarious, but everything was a commentary.
And he's sitting next to Jalen. And then he found out that Bacardi actually has Bacardi in it. So not one, two, I don't know how many Bacardis.
Let me tell you, he would go and get
He
the
had 4?
Bacardi can. He would go and get the Bacardi can, go to his car, and pour something in it. So he reads the can and says, wait a minute, this says 6% Bacardi. I just added another 15% tequila. So I have 21% of alcohol. This is amazing. I mean, he's having a whole conversation with himself.
Truth.
Right?
True.
And everybody's laughing. I mean, I felt bad because there were people.
I don't think anyone heard him up in the front, though.
They all heard
Kennedy,
him.
did you hear him? He was sitting right behind you.
It was hilarious.
But what a great event. I'm so proud of all of them. And when you asked for all the crew from AMP to stand up, I thought, wow, what an honor it is to be among such great young minds.
I thought you were going to beat me to that. I said, let me not say nothing because she'll beat me to it.
No, that was definitely a dad line. You're definitely the dad of this whole situation.
It was honoring everybody. I told Nikki, get up, you family too.
Absolutely.
But that's what it's all about. It's all about appreciating the moment when you get there.
You got to meet Abuelita.
Yes, I did. I got to meet Abuelita and there were 2 Abuelitas, one in English, one in Spanish.
She's like, tall white man is my dad, and this is Abuelita on my mom's side. She's hilarious.
Family, all the families were there. We got to meet Peachy, which is Christmas tree. Got to meet her.
We got to meet her mom and her brother, which was really nice. They
Really
came
cool.
into the studio today. So a lot of great things to see the crew come together. Gretchen was there. She wrote an article about it.
She even asked a question in her Spanglish.
But, you know, she doesn't go to FAU, and she's not a part of this film crew, but they all came together.
Yeah.
Just got to make you
Shorty
feel proud,
also
right?
joined part of the crew now.
Yeah.
So they're all getting involved. It was a spectacular night. And the funny thing is that they're never going to forget that for the rest of their lives because the strike with the actors ended yesterday,
Right.
officially. And that's the day they're going to remember when they opened up their debut for their deal. So you sit back and say to your kids, you remember when the actors, they went on strike, and on that day, this happened. And they're never going to forget that because there it is on the screen. You get to see yourself on the screen. That's an amazing accomplishment, man.
Were you so proud?
I was. I mean, think about this. Look at how many people you know and how many people you know have been on that screen one time, just once. And I bet you're going to have a hard time finding anybody around you that's done it, even if you're in California, because not everybody gets on the screen. So, proud moment.
Great
Had a lot
event.
of fun.
So congratulations. I think they're trying to download some pictures, but Grace sent 405 of them. So it's taking a little bit of time to download them. I said, could you send some content? So she sent her entire file of,
So, do you see what I'm wearing here?
yeah, Gypsy Soul. She had a great show last night.
What's this?
Gypsy Soul.
I'm wearing her patch because if I put it on my shirt, it comes off.
Her new stickers, yeah.
Her new stickers. Good show. She was dancing the bachata one?
I got to tell you, I really have a huge appreciation. I got to hand it to Denise because she came here one day as she wrote 2 books, and she came here as an author. We interviewed her, and her personality was so amazing. We said, why don't you have a show? And she said, okay. And within 24 hours, she had a show. And she started, I think, the following week. She airs every other Thursday opposite the Artist Loft, opposite Frank and Rich, is Gypsy Soul. And she's booked, I don't even know through how long. And she finds a way and she makes it work. And her shows are always great. So yesterday she brought in Fred Astaire Dance from Wellington. And she danced with her dance partner. She did the bachata. And just the courage and to watch her grow and have the confidence to get up in front of all of her viewers, because she is the #1 show on AMP Media's network, and do what she does, just shows you anybody can do anything if they put their mind to it. She just said,
Impressive.
let's do it.
And no fear. She said, let me go forward and do this thing.
And she's a teacher. She's a first grade teacher, and she just loves what she does.
And she's a hero. You know, she's a teacher. She's a hero. She teaches our community. And there's a lot of mixtures about whether or not teachers even get paid enough to do what they do. But they're right up there as a necessity for our communities. You saw how COVID happened, and all of a sudden everybody's like, wait a minute, what are we going to do without our teachers? So maybe appreciations, but we do appreciate her tremendously. And I'm trying to keep her patch on just for this segment to let her know that we do appreciate everything she does. And this is a lady, and there's a reason that I even brought this up, is because we have another lady, and it was contemplated about doing a show also on her own. And sometimes you got to take a step forward to move in the right direction.
So we're going to take a commercial break. We're going to come back and talk to Alicia. But did you know that the first bra was created out of a jockstrap? I'm still on that conversation. Think about the ingeniousness of the woman that created this. Like in the 1800s.
They had jockstraps back in the 1800s. I think the jockstrap
They had like
was
wacky
made out of
packs
the
or
bra.
something, wacky sacks.
Because you can get 2 bras for 1 jockstrap.
No, they had to come up with a way to hold the girls up. So they decided if it holds the boys, it could hold the girls.
Do you remember Seinfeld?
The funny thing is, you only need 1 for a guy. That's how it shows you that women are double the trouble.
That's right. And then men have to endure pain. Because it ain't fun. Do you know when I was coaching, I had to teach.
There you go, the jockstrap bra. Fun fact.
What the hell is
That's
that?
hilarious. When I was at University of Miami, you know, it was like Suntan U back in the day. One of the things they would sell at the bookstore was all the kind of merch and clothing. They had a pair of men's tighty whities. So imagine this, right? Tighty whities that you would wear upside down. So the crotch was cut out for your head. And then you put your arms through where men put their legs, and the waistband became the waistband here. So it was like an upside down tighty whitey crop top for the girls to wear. And of course then it said
First of all,
Canes on it.
impossible to wear a tighty whitey on your body.
No.
The hole in the tighty
You
whitey,
but
your
no.
head won't fit.
Well, they made a
You're talking
special
about
hole.
briefs.
They put a tighty whitey. They made
Impossible.
they cut the crotch out, and they would put like a neckline. So
You
put
wore
your head.
this?
Sure. So you put your head through it, and then your arms went through the legs, and you wore it upside down as a crop top. If only I still had it. I have to find a
That
picture
is.
of it.
Can
you envision this?
I'm
Yes.
speechless.
Why?
You wore
Because-
somebody's underwear over
Because
your
it's all
head.
about the youth. Yes. So another way, a fun fact that you could wear your
Yeah, you
boyfriend's
guys made
clothing.
fun of me because I said that we should have a guys contest in here for guys to wear women's panties, and here you are
Wearing guys tighty whities.
That's number one. That just bothers me.
Well, I think how cute it looks.
That's disgusting.
I didn't say they were used.
You don't know if they're not.
Recyclable.
And you make a hole in the crotch to put your head through it. That's
well,
ridiculous.
no, it was already pre-made, so it looks very professional.
Tidy whitey dress
No, top.
top.
It just was like, phew.
You remember Seinfeld when they had the men bra, the brassiere, the men's ear? It was men who have breasts, so they made a men's ear, and they used to squish you, and your brassieres, your boobies came out of your neck.
You had showed me a thing like that. A woman was like in this whole spank situation, and she sucked it all the way up, and her face was like that.
That's right. That's why they tell you when you meet somebody at a club and you go into a hotel room, and she says, "Okay, stand back." I'm about to take down.
People are still commenting on your post from the other day where you turned the lights out. So this is just a whole nother level of that.
Oh, come on. I'm not the only one that ever says that. Every guy I know says the same thing.
I don't
there
think
ain't
so.
enough bags.
On that note, we're going to take a commercial break. More to come on the
but
other
you're tidy
side.
whitey, it's okay. Me, I tell you something about the bags
You
and
got
it's
to
a
keep the
problem.
lights on, yes.
Really? I could use a tidy whitey. Just don't make a pocket. Probably, you'll probably scramble yourself.
More to come with our neighborhood health and wellness show. And then we've got, oh my gosh, the director and producer of Americanish coming in studio because a special premiere tomorrow night at Movies of Del Rey at 7:30. So more to come on our 1 o'clock hour on that. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Amp Media Productions proudly announces Music Nights. We invite you to a 2-night concert event, November 10th and December 1st, starring J.C. Dreesen with her Salute to the Veterans. And True Rumors, the greatest Fleetwood Mac tribute band on the land. For more information and to grab your tickets, head over to events.amp2.tv. That is events.amp2.tv, and don't be late.
AMP2 Media Productions, in collaboration with True Oldies Radio and Comcast TV, bring you the opportunity to spotlight your business on Monday Night Football on ESPN. By targeting your preferred Comcast region, your commercial will be spotlighted during NFL and NCAA football season, reaching over 1 million viewers. Let AMP help you amplify your impact in the community. Contact us at 866-224-5422 to create your own commercial today.
Do you have an idea for a show or a podcast? Do you want the opportunity to be on TV? AMP Media Productions is partnered with True Oldies Real Radio Station and powered by many online platforms such as Roku, Facebook, YouTube, and even Amazon Fire to help amplify your impact. Do you want your voice to reach a wide audience? Call us today at 866-224-5422.
Le Sorel Restaurant, home of the authentic Italian tradition, offers a large menu that consists of seafood, steak, homemade pasta, brick oven pizza, and homemade desserts including a wide wine selection. We also have the best bar in Boca Raton with delicious cocktails, homemade limoncello, cappuccino, Italian espresso, brandy, and other specialties, open every day with a lunch and dinner menu. For more information or to make a reservation, contact lesorelrestaurant.com or call 561-235-5301.
If you've been injured in an accident that's not your fault and you don't have an attorney, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions and tell you what your case is potentially worth. Hi, I'm Gina along with spokesman Rob. So Rob, tell the folks at home who should call right now.
Just like you said, Gina, anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault, you don't have an attorney, give us a call right now. We're going to answer all of your questions and we'll let you know what your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Rob. You heard it, folks at home. Pick up the phone, call now.
South Florida's Good Time Oldies. Now, Boca and Delray Beach have their own oldie station. Catch us on 95.3 FM. It's the greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s. On South Florida's Good Time Oldies, 95.3 FM.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
A lot of people are commenting that they want to send you their underwear.
Clean, new.
They didn't mention that. So.
And I think Black Friday sales have already started, so instead of sending me your underwear, we should send them to our troops
for
overseas.
Christmas, you want me to get you a bunch of underwear?
No, then we should send them to our troops overseas. Do you know the hardest thing?
Don't soften the bit.
No,
I want them for let's answer
Do I
one
want them to
question
make my
at a
own line of
time.
clothing? No. But we should send them to
I
our
think
veterans.
you should wear them. I think, and then we could put sponsors' names on them.
Sponsored by? No.
Eat at Joe's.
No, we're a family-friendly show.
That's family friendly. It's food.
It's Freddie friendly. And
I
Freddie
listen.
friendly.
You brought it up, not me.
Freddie friendly. But
I
I'm
would never
excited.
wear women's underwear. I'm sorry. on
You
my
would
head.
not. That we have our good friend Alicia Serrano?
Sure, Carreno, but that's
Carreno. Really? It sounds like a hard
I like
C?
Serrano. I like it. Sounds so very Italian.
So very Italian.
Yeah.
So it's Carreno with a C, but it sounds like a K.
You
Just
gotta
grab
talk
your
into
mic,
your mic.
Alicia.
Oh.
That one
So-
up there.
So we met Alicia and her sister Priscilla of Sea Sirens a few weeks ago through our good friend Frank Ruffolo and Richard Sosa of the Artist Loft. And she's so theatrical, she thought maybe we should create a show around her about a neighborhood. And as a yogi and an esthetician and all things health and wellness, we thought, what a great idea to actually not only do our community at large, but to break it actually down to our closer neighborhood. And then you can go like the Boca neighborhood or this neighborhood or that neighborhood, but it's all part of the community. There's all these different pockets of neighborhoods.
Make your neighborhood come to life.
Right?
I love that concept. We used to in the Bronx, we only had neighborhoods. We didn't have, like you have here, like it's Boca or you have Del Rey and none of that. In the Bronx, it was Popham. That's it.
Did you call it a neighborhood? It's funny, I don't hear people even use the word neighborhood anymore, but I love to kind of old school bring it back again. So what are your thoughts on that, Alicia?
You know, I'm a great believer that where we're living now, it's getting smaller and smaller because the population is growing, but I've been in Boca Raton since I was a kid, and it's been growing and growing and growing, and I'm a great believer that, you know, love thy neighbor sort of concept. And growing up with Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, for any of the viewers or listeners know about this, and his whole concept about, you know, love thy neighbor and be good to one another, and the whole beauty behind it all. And it also sticks with the concept of wellness. And let's take care of ourselves so we can be good to one another. Because the more we are good to ourselves, we are good to others, and vice versa. When you're good to others, you're good to yourself. So that is my concept. And then because I am an artist, aka con artist, because that's what it is when you're in theater or the films and music, I want to bring a little bit of that, a little bit of comedy and humor, because you know what? Ultimately, that's what it's all about. I want everybody to feel comfortable and bring everybody together.
So do you consider yourself a comedian? Or do you consider yourself an entertainer?
Entertainer.
So you do a little bit of everything.
I do.
You told us you were at Black Box and you did the Vagina Monologues
and The Odd Couple as well. Yes.
Now, who did you play in The Odd Couple?
What was her name?
And that was an all-woman cast, right?
It was an all-women cast.
So were you Felix or you?
Oh, no. It was, you know what? It was funny because it was a group of about 4 women. It's been a couple of years since I did. I think it was about 2 years ago. And I forgot her name, but I played the one who it was rewritten because it was made for stage. So it wasn't completely off of the television show, as you know. So I played like the airhead one.
Oh, so I wouldn't know that one. I don't know who that is.
It's got to be Oscar.
But there were 4, so they rewrote it for the stage for women. So maybe it's just a whole
they had,
different.
like, different people?
Guess they had different people.
And I was always like, duh.
So
you know,
were
like
airheaded?
I was an airhead.
What do you think? I have to ask you a question though. What do you think about women who play that role? Do you think you get stereotyped as that's who you are?
What do you mean? You mean
Think about
typecasted?
it as an actress. If
As
you
an
play,
airhead.
if you play the airhead, does that become like when the guys play Sopranos or the mob guys?
Of
That
course.
becomes their niche, right? But that's almost like a cool role. If you're a female and you're playing always the quintessential
Suzanne
airhead
Summers.
or the quintessential blonde,
Suzanne Summers.
right?
Well, they
And she
were-
took it all the way
airhead.
to the bank.
Yeah.
Well, there were 4 different women, and each one stood for a different kind of role, different kind of character and personality. I was casted to be the airhead, the bombshell airhead, sort of. You know, if I get typecasted, not necessarily. I've played also the mafia's wife. You know,
You're good with that.
I've played just different various roles. And like, look at the Vagina Monologues that I did. I was actually the host for that production, and that was a very serious production because these are real life stories or inspired by life stories of these women, and it has to do with everything. It's not family friendly, so I won't get into it.
Would you have a problem playing an airhead and being cast as an airhead?
No, but I just wonder as an actor if that typecasts you of not getting other roles or not.
It can. Look what happened to the one that played The Exorcist.
Linda Blair?
Blair, at the very beginning, she couldn't land a job because she was so creepy in The Exorcist, and people died. 21 people died making that movie that it took a long time for her to get any work.
So I'm wondering, as an actor, what that's like if you get typecast as you're the rom-com person, or you're the Suzanne Summers, like the Chrissy Snows, right, who she played.
Chrissy?
Meanwhile, she took that all the way to develop a
bank.
whole line of everything she
She
did.
became well known because of it.
Right.
And some of the mobster figures that they have, some of the guys that does some of the movies. What's his name? I think he's 78. De
Robert
Niro.
De Niro.
And he's still doing. He just had a baby.
Yeah, how is that even possible?
Let me explain to you, Lucy.
I don't understand how it's
Come
still
to the board. Let me show you how one
works.
thing works. Well, because he wears panties on his head and he has a double jockstrap.
I don't understand how that still works in your 70s for men.
What do you mean how it still
Not
works?
that how it works, but it
do you
works
mean?
and
Excuse me, Lucy.
and it functions.
What the hell is wrong with you?
like is still
Men
a
don't
viable.
stop
See,
functioning.
we do not.
Wow.
We're not capable of really doing that after a certain
Unfortunately, your
age.
piping, they shut it down. You know, it's like there's
The
no more-
reproductive situation for women does not work after a certain
He
age.
must have find. Well, how old is the woman that had the baby? 46, 43, something?
Yeah, but
No, like much younger
I
than
think she's
that.
like even in her
20
30s,
or
maybe.
something? Well, yeah,
I
because
thought
he
she
got
was-
it like that.
Yeah. Well, and as a matter of fact, I think we're in an era right now that where I'm seeing a lot of older men with younger women. Again, there's like a new wave of sugar daddies because
But he's not a sugar daddy.
He's Robert De Niro.
He's Robert De Niro. De Niro can have anybody. So he met this lady and she said, let's have a kid. And she said, yeah, that's business. That ain't sugar daddy.
But isn't sugar daddy a business?
No, sugar daddy means I got to pay you for some of the delicacies.
No, that would be called prostitution.
No. not when you are doing it sophisticatedly. You're not hiring for a white night stand. This is a relationship.
A marriage.
I don't even know if they're married. But I know they have a kid, and I'm sure the child was born out of love, and he can give this kid anything and everything he wants, and he's a well-known actor. And I got no problem with De Niro having a little youngin'. There ain't no problem with that.
But yeah.
But you see, you have a
Yeah,
problem.
you are. I don't have a problem with it at all. I'm just amazed that a man in his 70s can actually.
What about the woman that said yes? Why are you
Kudos to
blaming
her.
him?
I'm not blaming him for anything. I think it's great.
Maybe he had a free frozen.
I just don't know how it actually still works in your 70s. How you actually have
Viagra.
viable children
Boy,
that
I'm
can
gonna
be
tell you,
born out
I
of
feel
that.
so bad for Chuck.
Why?
Because when he's whatever age, you're going to say, that's it. You don't work no more. Put it in the can.
We snipped that a long time ago, so that issue is gone. Yeah, we couldn't do that
Listen,
anymore.
when I'm 90, if you're 20 some odd and I'm 90, you want to have a kid, let me know.
I don't. Yeah, you guys
I would
like
like
to
to
do
have
that.
all
Would you
these
date
children.
an older man?
If I would date an older man,
Would you like date a man? Say you're in your 30s, which I think you are, in their 80s.
Me personally,
I know you're happily married, but
yeah, it's hard for me because I am happily
Would
married.
you ever imagine that you would do something like that?
No, but I understand how women would do that because I think that especially women with daddy issues, they want a man who
Really?
gives them security.
All these labels. What if De Niro said to you, listen, I find you attractive, why don't we get together, we have a
And
kid,
there he
I'll
is.
take care of everything. You wouldn't marry a famous guy like this?
No.
If you weren't married?
If I wasn't married?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I would. But I would love to be in one of his pictures.
back to being
You know, I would say,
You see,
hey,
you want the
Robert,
sugar
how you
daddy.
doing?
That's where you get the wrong image. That's why. Would you marry a De Niro if you weren't married to Chuck? Would you do it?
maybe if I found him attractive and we had a great relationship.
Don't
and
complicate the
all of
question. It's
that.
yes or no. If you find him attractive, I'm asking you, would you marry? You see what he looks like? Would you
Oh,
marry?
I would. His looks
Man,
are fine.
I would marry you.
Yeah, why not?
De Niro, call me, baby.
Why not? It's Robert
I
De
find you
Niro.
any kids
It's
you
like,
want.
why not? You know, but I can't have babies, so that
What's
part
a
of it's
famous
over.
older Madonna? It's like me. Would I
Look at
marry?
Madonna.
I would marry her.
She looks amazing. Look at Jennifer Aniston. Amazing.
Again.
Amazing.
Amazing. So these aren't like older
Yeah.
looking women. Dolly
J
Parton.
Lo also. These are all
Everything.
women over 50.
J-Lo I
And-
wouldn't marry.
How old do you think Dolly Parton has got to be in her 70s?
73, 74.
Right? Looks amazing.
Yeah, I would marry her in a minute.
Of course you would. Why not?
Marry all of them.
Why not? Back to our neighborhood
Jane
conversation,
Fonda.
though. Jane Fonda.
But this is what's happening in the neighborhood. People are having children at 90 years of age.
You know what's funny?
Welcome
I moved
to
a
the
different-
neighborhood.
I'm married. I moved to a different neighborhood a few years ago, and it's very different. It's a very different neighborhood. I'm only a mile away from my old house, but the neighborhood itself is different. It's still the community of Boca, but the neighborhood, the people, just a different sense of people. It's interesting when you just move yourself to another house in another area. It's all different.
I moved 16 times
Wow.
because my mother wanted to move out of the element. And we always moved to Greek or Italian or Jewish neighborhoods. And Mrs.
Culture.
Freeman,
A lot of culture.
Culture was very important.
Yeah.
My mother wanted to make sure that we had culture. Mrs. Freeman, which I talk about a lot on Popham Avenue, she's the one that helped me establish my very first lemonade stand. And she said, Freddie, this is the way you do it. She gave me a
Very
back box of marbles. She says, I'm going to teach you how to play marbles because, you know, you have to have a little something to do with downtime.
That's very cute.
It's true.
Wow.
I made $25.
Another story by Freddie.
But it's true. It's a true story.
Oh, at
and I
least-
moved to many communities because it got crazy. And then the gangs took over Popham, and we didn't.
And you moved again.
We moved to Manhattan.
Did you?
Yeshiva University, 186th Street. Lower Hill Terrace. My sister's still there.
And you moved again. So what type of things would you want to highlight on the neighborhood show?
Everything, a little bit of wellness, a little bit of beauty. I'm a yoga instructor as well, and I'm an esthetician by trade. So, as well, I want to incorporate a little bit of humor because we all need to laugh, don't we?
Yeah.
And I want to incorporate all these elements because I want everybody to feel like they are welcome to the neighborhood. And that's what it's all about. And as I said earlier, it is like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood for adults, but not like the adult content. Like, it's not like that weird, but you understand. Like, it's.
I have this concept in my head where there's a neighborhood, and there's a store in every one, like a bodega, which is one store, and then you have the laundry, and then you have different stores on this neighborhood, and everybody, there's an owner comes out and they come on her show.
With that said, I would love to hear back from the viewers and see what they think. And that's something that we can look into it.
It's interesting. Neighborhoods have a lot of different definitions. I'll never forget that guy taking off his shoes, his slippers, and putting them on. And we were talking about that in the back. And I used to do that with my mom. I says, Mom, look. And she says, what are you doing? And I says, I'm doing what he's doing. He's doing it on TV, or now I do it. And the guy who used to deliver the mail on that show, a lot of stuff used to happen, a lot of definitions.
Now think about Mr. Rogers, right? His whole show promoted inclusion and equity and diversity. Things so simple, but yet here we are again now trying to promote all of the same things and all of the people that were not included then but want to be included now because people have changed. Or not, people haven't changed. I think they're able to
Communities have
come out
changed.
more of who they really are, and people don't have to hide who they are. They're
That's
able
because
to
it's cell phones.
acknowledge.
Your 4-year-old now gets a cell phone, 5, in kindergarten, you have a cell phone. Everything has changed because the world is at your hand. There's no longer old community standards. You know, John F. Kennedy, I'll never forget, when I was growing up, they built me a library. My father, my uncles built me a library, and there were books in there. I don't know where the hell the books came from, but my parents used to say, if you ever want an answer to a question, look it up. And that was the John F. Kennedy theory, and somebody taught them that, and that's the way I was taught. So I used to squander and look for books and everything else. Now you go, hey, Siri, tell this to that.
Now it's Google.com. Everybody's like, I gotta
Dr.
Google it. I gotta
yes,
Google it.
Google. How do you change the oil in your car? YouTube. It shows you how to do it. Gio tells me that. Let's change the brakes on your car. I says, when the hell did you learn how to change the brakes on my car? And he goes, watch. And he goes to YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah.
And it shows you how to do it.
But you know what? That is where the generations has gone. That's the evolution of the generations. We are in a very virtual era, you know, if we like it or not. And that's what because AI now is such a big thing, and we're all very scared of it because it's foreign to us. But my concept of it, and I'm sorry, I'm ranting onto a different topic, but because AI is something that if we like it or not, it's going to be there. And so we need to take ownership of it so we can be better qualified to handle it. Because if there's no regulations, there's going to be chaos.
But I like AI. I wrote a beautiful love song using AI.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Do you want to serenade it?
I don't know. I gave it to the singers. And one guy turned it into a cowboy song, a Western. What is wrong with you?
But how cool would it be? Because you live right in this neighborhood. You could just go up and down this street and say, all right, here's the window tinting person in the neighborhood. Here's the oil change mechanic. Even the simple things. Here's the T-shirt printing company in their neighborhood. I'm just thinking about stores along the way.
And there's a bunch of them. I walk
Right?
it every day.
Here's the spa in our neighborhood.
That's right. That's what it's all about.
And you come in, they do a quick little segment, sponsorship, whatever it is, and this way people know who's in the neighborhood. There's about, 30 car repair places around this whole back curve here?
Find yourself somebody that wrap your car, little barter, and when they see you coming, and the camera's like inspect the gadget. The cameras come out of the car, the lights come out of the car.
There's also,
hilarious.
what's it called, Krav Maga? Is that what it's called, Josh? Krav Maga, something like that. It's
What's
a
Krav
fighting
Maga?
technique. They're right next door also. So
And there's a spa, Maui Spa,
There's
down the
everything.
street. There's Cose Ducci, which is an incredible bakery of Italian bakery. There's so much. I'm speaking of Plum Plaza. Are you
Yep.
familiar with
Yeah.
it?
All of them.
Wonderful, wonderful.
That's neighborhood 1, and then you go down the street where Tom Sawyer's is another
Tom
neighborhood.
Sawyer's, which is like a traditional. It's how long has Tom Sawyer's been in Boca Raton for now?
Oh, it's been there 40 years.
Yeah, it's like one of the originals, and well, I love Boca Raton because Boca Raton has so much history to it. Addison Meisner, we can go on and on about it.
But it's all of these different neighborhoods that make that compose the sweater of Boca.
Right.
And then you can go beyond.
yeah, the
because-
neighborhoods compose the community. So it's even hones in even tighter, which is like this whole little niche of what it is. I love the idea.
It's a good idea. And not only that, but then shirts and all sorts of stuff can go associated with this thing. You can put a store where everybody's shirt is represented. It's just a whole different clever idea to bring the community back to where it used to be old school meets new school, and that's what you got.
All right, more to come with that. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, is our veterans piece ready, Kennedy?
Yes.
All right, we're going to pay tribute to our veterans just in time for the J.C. Dreesen concert, and we'll see, hopefully our guests will be here any moment. So more to come on the other side of this break. Maybe we can play some J.C. music and enjoy.
Why not?
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Do you want the opportunity to have a TV show or podcast? Now, at Amp Media Productions, you can host your very own visual broadcast anywhere around the world. With our talented group of creators, we will provide you with show elements, board operations, and any on-screen visuals you'd like to showcase. All you must do is log onto your computer and communicate with your viewers. Contact Amp Media Productions at 866-224-5422 or email hello@amp2.tv to start your own show today.
Born in Marseille, France, Max Lazega creates whimsical and free-flowing interpretive art. His 40 years in the construction industry created a foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873.
What if this happened to you when you're alone? Or what if it happened here? With MedGuard Alert, you're never alone. You can connect with medical professionals anywhere, anytime. And now MedGuard is introducing our exclusive new CareWatch. If you need help quickly, use it from anywhere to contact medical professionals. No cell phone required. The CareWatch is not only a life-saving medical alert device, it's a revolutionary health monitoring system that checks your blood pressure, heart rate, oxygen saturation, and much more. And here's the best part. If you have Medicaid, you may qualify to get your CareWatch for free. The CareWatch is only available through MedGuard Alert. Call us right now. We have monitoring programs starting as low as $1 a day. The call is free, activation is free, shipping is free, and no contract is required. Remember, with Medicaid, you may qualify to get your CareWatch for free. Don't wait. Call us to get your CareWatch right now. Operators are standing by.
Love the Brooklyn Cafe? Don't miss out on some of the latest merch we have available. Need a new shirt? The Brooklyn Cafe has you covered. We have a variety of shirts in all sizes, ranging from the classic cafe shirt to the highly coveted colorful hot dog shirt. Need something for cold weather? Why not grab one of our cafe hoodies? Or you can snuggle up with one of our soft silk touch fabric blankets. The Brooklyn Cafe has everything you need, from clothing about the show to our signature coffee blends and mugs. Get it while supplies last.
Amp Media Productions is excited to announce our expansion into North Miami. With our experienced team of radio and TV professionals, we are dedicated to bringing North Miami the highest quality audio and visual production services. Whether you need radio or television commercials, podcasts, music videos, or audio and visual storytelling, we can provide the solutions to help you reach your goals. Our team is reliable, innovative, and creative, and we're ready to help you develop the perfect product. With our competitive rates and personalized service, you can trust that your project is in the best hands. Contact us today to get started on your project. 866-224-5422.
When a garage door breaks down or the opener stops working, you need to act fast. So if it's broken, call Broughton. Broughton Garage Door Sales can handle all of your service, repair, and installation needs. And if you need a new garage door or a garage door opener, call Broughton. They have a great line of Clopay garage doors and LiftMaster openers. And their expert technicians can prevent major problems with annual garage door tune-ups. Broughton Garage Door Sales, opening doors for you since 1955. Visit Broughton.com. That's BROTEN.com. Or call 954-946-5555. That's 954-946-5555.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Once again, here we go. He's a fool. Don't I know it? But a fool can have his charms. I'm in love, and don't I show it like a babe in arms. Love's the same old sad sensation. Lately, I've not slept a wink since this half-pint imitation put me on the brink. I'm wild again, beguiled again, a simpering, whimpering child again, bewitched, bothered, and bewildered. Am I? Couldn't sleep, wouldn't sleep when love came and told me I shouldn't sleep. Bewitched, bothered, and bewildered. Am I? Lost my heart, but what of it? He's cold, I agree. He can laugh, but I love it. Although the laughs on me, I'll sing to him each spring to him and long for the day when I'll cling to him, bewitched, bothered, and bewildered. Am I? Well, maybe. Men are not a new sensation. I've done pretty well, I think. But this half-pint imitation put me on the brink. I've sinned a lot, I mean a lot, and now I'm not sweet 17, a lot bewitched, bothered, and bewildered. Thank you. Woo!
And we are back.
I guess not. What
We're
happened to
gonna-
the veterans piece?
We're going to have Antonio load that up because I know this is something near and dear to your heart. And I know anytime we talk veterans,
Now, I'm going to tell you, I got a bone to pick with you. Because people watching the show now, I got to take these flags with me to the concert tonight.
I know
They
that.
want them on the set.
I know that.
You know that. Were you going to tell me this?
Listen, when things come into my brain, they're not always timely, but they're timely enough for us to make it work. So when I was, I always have my ideas in the morning. So I woke up this morning and I thought, we've got the flags, we need to put them on the set for Veterans Day, and of course, we've got the concert tonight. So yes, we should bring them with us to
It's
the
funny, when I
venue.
bought these flags and I put them over there for
probably a year
veterans
ago.
a year ago, they told me to take them down because Veteran Day passed. And to me, every day is Veterans Day. So I didn't want to take them down. And I had a conniption. I told people, no, I'm not. Why should I take it down? So it's kind of nice to see that people want us to bring them.
So in my head, I thought it was really important to put them out today and to bring them for tonight. I'm just not sure how we're going to balance them, but I figured,
I
just
got
like how
it.
we got Mary here, if there's a will, there's a way. If there's a will, there's a way.
We can actually put a rod on the top of them, but I'll show you.
And our easels should actually still be at the theater from last night, so maybe we can use those as well. I hope they're at the theater. We did not take them, so I'm hoping they are still there.
How many?
I don't know. I know I brought one. I don't know if they brought any others. So we're going to figure that out as well.
Again, tonight we're talking about J.C. Dreesen is going to be on the air at 7:30 p.m. at the Movies of Del Rey. Doors are going to open, I think, at 7, 6:30. We're going to be doing runway work and stuff like that. Get your tickets at Eventbrite or events.amp2.tv and check out what's happening there as well. And our guest is actually here. And then it's perfect timing.
Josh, can you greet our guest, please?
How are you? Perfect timing.
Terrific. And Denise, I'm actually going to have you come sit over here. And then we'll put our guests over there. Antonio, do we have that veterans piece to play? I don't know what he said.
He said no.
He said no. All right. Well, hopefully we're going to have it tonight to play before the film
I
work.
don't know what veteran piece you're alluding to.
It was the piece that you put together for all the homecomings.
Oh, it's on my email.
Is it all put together?
Yeah.
All right. So that's the piece I wanted to play for today.
Well, you didn't say that.
Veterans piece.
It
What
has-
about that? Didn't you say?
Has
I didn't
many
say.
names. See, I'm gonna join the boxing ring in your neighborhood.
No, it's all good. Denise.
Growing, huh?
And let's see if we can get Denise a mic out here also, because I want to talk to Denise is a new intern producer with the studio, and she's very quiet, soft-spoken. Actually, I'm going to give you Alicia's mic. There you go. Actually, I'm going to have you change seats with Alicia. We're doing this on the fly. This is when half our crew was out after an after-hours party last night and having them do the thing. You guys are good where you are.
Yay, are we live now?
We are live right now. We sort of roll and go as we go what we're going to do. But half our crew is out today because we had a late event last night, and the other half is resting because we've got a late event tonight, rolling into tomorrow night. So we're sort of roll as we go. But I wanted to introduce Denise Pacius before we get on to our American-ish storyline and say welcome to the studio.
No, she's good.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, hi everyone. I'm Denise, and I've been doing film and TV for 5 years. I started since I was a freshman in high school, so being here, it really, make my heart sing, I guess, because it's what I love to do, and it's really great to be surrounded by amazing people. So, yeah.
Well, welcome. You are
Thank
a student where? At FAU?
Yes, FAU currently.
year?
Freshman year.
And you
Still
decided
freshman.
to work with us because you've got nothing better to do freshman year, like go to school. You're like, I can come every day.
Exactly. I like to do, things that are going to benefit my future in my free time. I don't like to just, sit around and do whatever. I like to do things and be active. So,
How did you get so good at editing at such a young age?
I've been editing since I was a freshman in high school, and my school really pushed me to, take the test, be out there, just edit and edit, create content. So that's how I got good at it.
Because yesterday I asked them to do a short, because we have had a full week packed with amazing guests. And for to engage people to go look at the whole thing, right, I needed a trailer, and I looked around Studio B, and they all looked at me, and they said, New Girl can do it. So you've now been dubbed New Girl.
New Girl,
for lack of a better name. Because Freddie, apparently your nickname seemed to rub off on people.
I told you it worked.
And then you put this great short together for a CAF for the artist, which was amazing, and Allison loved it, of Relevant Communications. And it just brings awareness to what the studio is doing, and then people can hone in and say, yes, I'm going to rewatch that interview, or this is what I want to watch, the Toy Story animation piece, because that was a great interview today, and then we get to roll into American-ish. I don't know, Freddie. I mean, this week of interviews has been tremendous here at the studio.
It's like that every week.
Yeah.
Like I tell you, it's like that every week.
It's like that every week. As
It's
the
been a good
neighborhood
week.
grows, it's been a great week.
But this is a very young, talented producer that we have in studio, and I just wanted everybody to get to know her. I see some of the work that she's put together. She didn't even get a chance to say hello. They just put her to work. I'm like, what?
She came in the first
says,
day.
okay, here's a computer, go do your thing, boom.
We didn't even talk to her the first day. We were so busy. I don't even know how many guests we had in here that day. We didn't even get a chance to talk to this poor girl.
We haven't, but she's talented. She does nice work. She did some stuff as well as yesterday. Amazon, did you find the piece? They sent it, he got it? All right, so we'll be able to do that as well.
One day when Amazon walks the red carpet, she's going to have this great big voice, and we're going to say, who's that girl?
No, she has a great voice. We just can't hear it yet.
She's going to share it with us. She's still waking up from last night. I don't even know if they went to sleep last night.
Well, all these movie people, when you guys do your thing, it's like highlighted, unbelievable, and the adrenaline is so high. And that's the first time these kids have been on a screen. So there was all this, and then they went to Fat Cats afterwards. I heard 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, they were still there.
And then G-Man went to work.
He works at Amazon till 11 o'clock in the morning. He goes from 1 to 11. And he sends me messages all night. I'm like this, watching them. He says, don't do that no more, because I think something was wrong. He says, oh no, he sends me the little light thing. But what an accomplishment. You get to meet people, you get to talk to people. Our next guest we're going to be talking to as well. It's just a nice segue. Now this next story has so many different parts to it.
But I'm hoping they have the trailer. Can you see if Antonio has the trailer? Because I want to roll into the segment with the trailer from American
You
as
don't
well.
wanna
He
set
finds
this up?
that. You can set it up. Denise, welcome.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Oh, Denise is on too, Mike. Let's get another mic over here for her as well. You have the trailer? You have the trailer? All right, so to set this thing up, Royce actually set this accomplishment up, one of a few. And she keeps growing and going.
Had a busy week.
She has Rosie, she's doing her 3rd episode on that. She has American-ish, the interview and everything. This whole thing happened because she put it together. And we had Toy Story football on ESPN Plus was live, and the creators were on the set as well, all because of the young lady that's sitting there. And don't be fooled, that is Hot Wheels is what we call her, because she is scorching.
She does not stop.
She doesn't.
Oh.
I don't have this opportunity. I can't do it.
You can do anything.
We thank you. And then you came yesterday, and then G-Man Josh puts her in the middle of the lobby. I said,
In the middle.
I said, you do know she's in the middle of the lobby? He says, I know, I got you. I said, could we ask Royce to get out of the middle of the lobby before? If she was like, she was there and everyone's circling around her. 200 people circling around Royce yesterday. So you've done such great work, and I thank you for that as well.
Thank you.
And you've got Rose coming back in the end of the month to do another piece. You know, we met Rose, and because she's from Turkey, it never even dawned on me, no pun intended, to put you guys together until Freddie said Royce would be the perfect person to work with Rose.
Because they're both from Turkey, they speak the same language, so there's no barrier. When she says water is wet, she knows what that means. I'm still trying to figure it out.
So she's going to come back in and do that piece with us also. You want to set this up a little bit with Roy and before we roll the clip?
Okay. So I knew Roy from my high school. Actually, we met in the career week. When I was in. Actually, I was graduated from high school at that time, but it was the COVID time, so we can connect with our career connection people in Zoom. So I attended the Zoom and we met in Zoom, and then now he's here.
Yeah, just like that. And I think there was
Yay.
a few things between A and Z on that one.
Yeah, there was a few things actually. Thanks for having us, by the way. We were so excited. And, you know, I'm here with the director of Americanish, Iman Zawari.
Hey, everyone.
Who's also a Floridian. But yeah, Royce and I go way back, you know, to high school. And we have an age difference, obviously. I'm the old man here, quite a bit.
You are not an old man.
You know, in the path, you know, let's say. But yeah, it's actually last time we did the live session. One of our teachers from school wrote to me and how emotional she was about seeing us years later, connecting in this way. And, you know, thanks to Royce, we're here, and you guys obviously too. So this is amazing.
It's pretty amazing. We were talking before you came about neighborhood and community. And community is always community. And what I love so much about Americanish is you guys bring the community from abroad into the States, right? The diversity, the equity, the inclusion. We talked about Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and how Fred Rogers did this back in the day, right? But he was just dealing with so many things that seem so basic now. Now it's so much bigger, but yet the concept is the same. And here you are in a bigger scope and a bigger level now, bringing it to the big screen for everybody to see. In the height of what we are going through right now in the Middle East, to be putting your movie out now, probably, well, you made it 10 years ago. It was nothing you ever thought about that here we go, right? In the middle of this skirmishes.
Yeah. And Iman probably could tell us the story about how it started, but we never timed it to what's happening right now. It's a comedy, and we're torn about sharing it now as well. But Iman, tell us how it all began. You know, she's the mind
You want
behind
to roll the trailer first?
Yes, that would be awesome.
Let's
Let's roll
roll
the
the
trailer.
trailer first. Set this up. You'll get a little bit of background, and then we'll
And
go
you'll
on.
understand clearer.
Mom, don't you want us to have more than this? Be something?
Yes, but first you go and get married and have children. Then go, be whatever you want.
Dude, I'm never gonna be able to afford my own place. Home's not that bad. It's a zoo, Mariam.
What's the purpose of your visit?
I'm here to find a nice Pakistani-American doctor to marry. Jeez, Mom, don't you want us to have more than this? Be something?
Yes, but first you go and get married and have children. Then go, be whatever you want.
Dude, I'm never gonna be able to afford my own place. Home's not that bad. It's a zoo, Mariam.
What's the purpose of your visit?
I'm here to find a nice Pakistani-American doctor to marry.
Jeez, just a study group.
The MCATs aren't going to ace themselves. I want to go to Harvard. It has the best PEDS program in the country.
Hey. I gotta tell you, Roombas really freak me out. If you're gonna get a Roomba, like, just put it only in your room.
Khala, these prices are ridiculous. We will pay you $24 for it.
My daughters, they think they know everything best.
You know what? I'm a grown woman.
Boys don't like girls all covered up. You're never going to get married with that scarf on your head.
I don't want to be with someone who doesn't get my values.
Our country is being overrun by immigrants.
You're working on the Douglas Smarts account. I mean, the guy is a racist.
I got a call from the hospital. I'm gonna have to go in.
You don't need to marry the first guy who shows interest in you.
Everybody's gonna get what they want. This is America. A land of dreams.
We saw that last night when we were at the Movies of Del Rey.
Played the trailer before the kids' short movie played, yeah.
Oh,
Because they invited all the kids. They had a full house last night. About 200 people strong were there last night, and they played the trailer.
Nice.
Which was amazing because it's the first time I had noticed the trailer on the big screen. Because in here they're putting it together and they different shows and what have you. And I noticed and I said, man, this is hilarious.
Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you for saying that.
It was funny. The street scene, was that shot in Manhattan or in Queens?
Jackson Heights, yeah.
In Jackson Heights,
yeah.
right? Mm-hmm. I think I worked with my father on that street. The top, the rim, the cement work, we worked on that.
Oh, nice.
In Jackson Heights, and we had to do it at night because we were not union.
Oh, wow.
And I'm looking at this now that I see it, and I'm saying to myself, wait a minute, this looks familiar. And I think that I know what the street is, and we worked on the cement around the stores, down the street, up and down the street. It's a huge block, so congratulations.
So
Thank you so
welcome
much.
to the studio. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yay.
Yay.
Thank you so much.
You are a professor at University of Florida?
I am,
So you
yes.
came in from Gainesville.
I did, yes.
It's a great school.
Yeah, the #1 in the nation, according to Wall Street Journal.
Isn't that unbelievable?
I know, it is crazy because when I went to undergrad there's no way I would have gotten in then, So, but it's I love it so much. I teach film production there, so I'm always in a place to create, so it's really great.
So you're from Gainesville?
I'm from Panama City, Florida.
And then you went there for undergrad and decided to stay?
So I went to undergrad, and then I went to FSU Film School for grad, which, is one of the top film schools in the nation. And then I went back to Gainesville. And then I travel, like, every weekend. I tour, with films and, speaking engagements and things like that. So I made the decision to stay in Florida because this is where my family is. This is who I am. But I do travel every weekend.
So what's it like? And I'm just going to address the elephant in the room. Gainesville is in the middle of Florida, and it's got its culture, but it wasn't always that way, right? It's much more of a diverse school now than it was. To be accepting as a Muslim woman there, all dress hijab?
Hijab. But you can just call it a scarf, yeah.
Your scarf.
Yeah.
To be in Gainesville, not as a professor, because now you're in a level of appreciation and leadership. But as a student, what was it like?
So, great question. Actually, Panama City, if you're familiar with that, that's actually where I was raised. And that's why I dealt with so much racism that's why I became a comedic filmmaker, because it was just so blatant. Dave Chappelle always have a thing that was racist. It's really comedic. So I use that. But Gainesville has always been the blue in the sea of red and has always been incredibly diverse. So even when I went down there for undergrad, I was actually the president of my Muslim Student Association on September 11th. Wow. So I did have all of that, of course, but I was so happy that I was in Gainesville because it was a college community. It was very, very open-minded. But being in Florida in general, it is much more challenging. I travel so much, and every time I go to New York or LA, it's just it feels like a different area, right? But it's really important to me, and that's it's a big reason why I started wearing a scarf, and it's a big reason why I am who I am telling comedies, because I want to show what American Muslim women are, and that we're American, we're Muslim, and it's not mutually exclusive, and we're also not a monolith, which is what the film is about.
Did you always wear a scarf growing up?
No, sophomore year of college is when I put it on.
So in Panama City, no.
No, I didn't, but I was still always the brown girl.
I never even heard that term until last year. My daughter-in-law is Cuban. I said, they called you what? Because I never even knew that was a thing.
Yeah. I mean, anyone that's not black or white is brown. Basically, Hispanics, Indians, Arabs. We call ourselves browns.
Actually, it used to not be used as much as well.
Right.
Now with social media and everything, I think people are hearing a lot more about everything. So it's definitely a new time and new space, which begs to differ. There's a lot of things happening in the news, and sometimes it's hard to know what's really real, what's really not, you know, as far as from my perspective anyways, because I know so much about AI and so forth. So it's a very difficult time for everybody. But one of the reasons why I think, you know, and I really want to congratulate, you know, Iman and Isa, who's not here right now. You know, they had this vision of bringing together a very diverse team, you know, so behind the scenes and in front of the camera. My profile photo on my social media is our core team, and we all look so different. It's incredible. And, you know,
yeah, because it's you who's, you know, Turkish, Argentinian, Jewish, and then our other producers, Thai American, Buddhist, and then Isa's Pakistani Muslim. I'm Egyptian Muslim. Our DP is white American Christian, and our editor is Hispanic Christian as well.
That was a mouthful.
Yeah. So, yeah.
But that is kind of like, I mean, look, I came to America much later in life. I didn't grow up here, but like that's why I came here, because of diversity, the possibility of intersectionality and so forth. And I really feel that this film does represent that, not to take away from what you were about to say.
No, definitely. I mean, you know, the goal of Americanish is to be a comedy, just to be a regular rom-com, you know, with 3 brown Muslim women leads, because everybody sees Muslim women as being like timid, shy, or hypersexualized. And it's like, I don't know anybody like that, you know, so I just wanted to tell stories of ourselves. And that's what it is. It's like, it's a fun little rom-com, but with serious messages on what it's like to be a Muslim in America. So, yeah.
There are nuances too. Sorry about that, but there are
No, it's
nuances.
all good. Being a Muslim American female, different than being an Orthodox Jewish woman in the States, or being, I don't know, someone Turkish in the States. Do you think it's different as a stereotype, or do you think this is just different cultures coming to America and everyone's facing something?
100% the latter. Because when people watch our film, they're like, oh yeah, that's me. You know, I see myself in it. It's so our biggest core audience, I would say, is first-gen immigrants. And because everybody's like, oh, you know, my mom has the plastic on the couch. You know, my mom wants me to do this. You know, it's like, it's the same storyline. And that's what, it's Americanish, right? Like, that's why we wanted to kind of tell the story. It's like, it wasn't made, you know, for a Muslim audience. It was made for our mainstream American audience.
That's what I loved about it. My grandmother always had the plastic on the couch, and we'd go over and be like, who are you saving this for?
Yeah.
And the AC was always off because we were saving it for company, and then the plastic would come off. And it was always marrying the Jewish doctor. So when I heard that line, it's like, it's the same.
Exactly.
In culture.
You know,
it's just, they call it something else.
You guys have described my childhood.
See? Same
to a
thing.
T. Because I am brown. You wouldn't think about looking at me with my eyes and everything else, but my father was from Italy and my parents, Cacique Indians from Puerto Rico. Y yo soy Latino, I am Spanish.
Wow.
And I had that plastic on my sofa. And my father was first generation. And we did move 16 times to find the environment where we weren't going to be prejudiced against, because my father didn't speak any English, neither did my mother. He spoke Spanish.
Yeah.
So we moved into Jewish neighborhoods and Greek neighborhoods. So when I saw that opening part, you know, I mean, I love movies. They'll tell you. I go to the movies every weekend. I don't care what's playing. I got to go. I am just so floored by the fact that you guys are here about the movie. You know, all this other stuff that I didn't even care that was going on. I don't care. I've gotten to a point that I'm going to do the opposite of what's going on around us. I don't care anymore. I care that you did the film. I care that you're here. I care that she got you here. To me, that's what this whole thing is about. Seeing that film on the screen, seeing the kids last night on the screen, seeing that we got friends in here that are going to go out and see your work, to me, send whatever message you want, because we're all the same at the end of the day. We may have differences in what we believe in things that we eat and words that we say, but we are all the same. So I'm just happy that they're here. But you're 100% right. This has been going on forever. And it's probably never going to stop the way it's going. But at least with leaders like you, we have a shot. You have a shot to getting it right in the movies, in the theater. I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. It's going to be a lot of fun. And
Thanks
the
for saying that. It
comments,
means a lot. I got chills. I mean, because that's the goal. It's like it's supposed. I do social justice through film, and it's the whole idea is that it creates peace and understanding. That's my goal as a filmmaker. So
And I could see that.
Yeah, thank
Is
you.
that what you teach, is social justice through film?
Well, no, I mean, I teach regular film production, but my biggest thing is I make social justice through film, but I teach the students like to hone their voice and to be proud of what story they want to tell.
And that's the gift. Last night, I guess there were 4 or 5 of our crew. from one of the schools who put a short film together, and they got to debut at a private screening before it goes to the film festivals at Movies of Delray. And to see that did you go to school for film production also, Roy?
Film studies. It was more critical stuff.
But
in
that
Canada.
you went to school for what you wanted to, and this is now your career, and you're making an impact on social justice and diversity, and having a voice through the platform is something that I think our crew got to see a little bit of yesterday. And for us to sit back and watch it is a gift, because when we started this, it was about the verbal platform, right, to give people a bigger voice. But now you all taking it to the big screen, which even makes it that much more impactful. Do you realize that doing it, or you just love to do this?
I think we both realize it. I could speak for Iman too. Like, this is one of the reasons why we're doing film, you know? And not to steal the thunder of what's happening this weekend, which I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about it. You know, the film is being screened in Florida several times. But yeah, I mean, for myself as well, my work has always been about intersectionality and community. And at the heart of it for me, you know, maybe it's a little bit naive to say this, but I think in the end, we all need love. We all some of us, unfortunately, might not have family, but the idea is that we all need community. We all need core family. And regretfully, some people don't have it. But, you know, American-ish obviously is about sisters, a family. The dad is not in the picture. The film our production company did before employed 48 transgender cast and crew, which also was about a family that took place in Harlem, essentially. It was a Hispanic film. But it's at the heart of it is all that. The only thing that I'll say to younger filmmakers who might be watching this, it just social impact films take a long time, because it's never just about the film. It's about partnerships. It's about community, and that takes long times to build. This took about 10 years, right? So, and it's as unusual as that sounds. Social impact films do take that long, you know. So most of them.
Is it the sponsorship? Is it funding? Is it just you hit a wall between people and the barriers? Can the community actually accept? Now, 10 years ago when you made this, right, you're closer to September 11th. There's so much hate about Muslims and what it was. And then, of course, we hit COVID and there was hate about Asians. And now there's hate against Jews. There's just so much hatred going on that it seems like this movie is timeless.
Thank you for saying that. We always talked about it. I hope so, because the idea, again, is to, like, our society is always trying to hate on someone. You know, it's like you had just mentioned, it's like the flavor of the month.
Hate, right?
I know.
We really need the love that Roy's
Exactly.
talking about, because everyone's so quick to hate each other.
It's
but yet
it's
not
so
quick
unfortunate.
to embrace each other.
100%. And I keep saying, like, you know, we just made a movie, but like we hope that the movie it just shows love. And you know what Roy had mentioned, or we had mentioned, what's happening in the Middle East. And you know, it was really hard for us to, like, we're premiering a movie during a time, but someone sent an email to me saying, I'm so happy that you made this movie because it's giving me hope during this time. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you. Because, you know, I feel bad as, like, you know, there's such negative things happening, and then we're like, let's go watch a comedy, you know? So, but I'm hoping that it gives hope to everyone.
I love the fact that you throw comedy in there, because that's the way I see it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I was 6, I got to see West Side Story.
Mm-hmm.
And West Side Story was the shark against the Jets. And everybody wanted to be a jet. And my brother said to me, you can't be a jet. You're Spanish. You got to be a shark. I mean, I grew up with that kind of mentality. I says, I could be anything I want.
Right.
So we took a jacket and we painted sharks on one side and jets on the other. And we wore that. Me, Juji, Louie, my cousins, we wore it. We wanted to be whatever we wanted to be. We didn't want to be told we couldn't be jets. We couldn't be sharks. We wanted to be whatever we wanted to be.
100%.
So I love the fact that you have comedy working in this thing. You know, education, people need to get educated. They need to listen to the education. I think the problem is that everybody's educating everybody. Nobody's listening. You know, maybe God should have gave us 4 ears, because 2 ain't working.
Yeah, actually, one of our actors said it best. I can't quote him exactly, but Mo, he said something along the line of, our culture has become dependent on sound bites and short information, you know, and within that, you can't really navigate that. That's just, it's very hard, you know. You piece things together. It's like a puzzle, and you know, I think it's
yeah. But what you had said is really where the essence is. It's about connection. It's about relationships, and that's the way that we're going to change the world. And so every screening that we go to, we always make sure that we try to connect with the audiences, connect with them on an important, like, physical level, and so to one person at a time, change the world.
If I do a short video on how to change a flat tire in 30 seconds, I bet you a lot of people wouldn't watch it because they're going to end up ramming into the side of a building. Because you can't learn anything in 30 seconds. You have to learn. You have to really want to make the effort. You gotta see something maybe once, maybe twice, and sort of understand what the message is. And then you have to define your message on this thing. And you gotta realize, if you're a parent, you got kids, you're their role model, man. Grow up about this already. And I tell these kids in here, it says, you are tomorrow's future. And think about this, what you think is going to persuade the younger minds. So be smart, make smart decisions, watch smart things. Doesn't always have to be clean, it could be funny, it could be whatever, but be smart about it.
Yeah.
What did your family think? Because you are a huge, diverse crew, cast and crew, right? Again, 10 years ago, different times, you grew up Muslim, you grew up Jewish, Israeli, and then you've got everyone else you talked about. What was your family's comments, support, non-support?
Well, that's my whole thing in my shorts. My family, they're all physicians, and so I was like disowned, basically. Not really, but yeah, I was always hated. Like every time I'd do anything with movies, they'd be like, "Hey, when are you gonna take your MCAT, man?" Or now, and then they switch it to LSAT. They're like, "You can take the LSAT now." When's the LSAT? So they were really not supportive, and it's funny because I lead a film grant, the first American Muslim film grant, and my whole goal is just to tell like aunties and uncles to support their kids, because it happened to me. And I think it's not just with Muslims. I think with any ethnicity, they're like, do not be an artist, But they didn't really super accept my job until I got the UF job because that was a real job. But I get it because, my family just wants me to be able to support myself and not be a starving artist. But the most beautiful story that I have is, so my mom, she was a single mom, and she raised me, and she was really concerned about me being an artist. And she was super against me being a filmmaker, but she happened to come to Americanish the day of the engagement scene, and that was like 80 people, and we were all like running crazy, and I was in the center directing everyone, and she goes, "Wow, this is a real movie." I'm like, "Mom, what did you think I've been doing this whole time?" And my mom was retired, and she actually donated funds to me that day, and that's the day that she's changed. And she's like the number one fan. She's like, "I don't know why people are not watching this movie." She's like, so they've definitely come around.
But I heard you were a doctor.
No, I'm
doctor of comedy. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I'm going to use that. I'm going to take it. Yes.
And with me, I grew up in Turkey most of my childhood, so it's a different kind of intersectionality. Obviously, the Muslims in Turkey have nothing to do. I mean, of course, they're Muslims, but American Muslim experience is so different. It's totally different, and I learned a lot through this film, through Iman, through Isa, through the community, how different it is. Because even my view on the cocoon that I grew up in Turkey, we had at that time about 20,000 Jews living in Turkey. Now it's 10,000, maybe less even.
Wow.
So it's shrunk. However, most of my friends were from different backgrounds, and my mom being a Latina, she's actually a Argentinian. So I was in a very unique environment where most of my friends were half this, half that, and in some way it was great. In some other ways, I think it gave me a view of the world that is not as present as I would hope, in most environments, Not to change subject, but even in festivals, there's a lot of, division within festivals, my only hope is to make films to share with audiences that can see the message of intersectionality and how we are similar in many ways, and our differences can be appreciated if we do have some.
But that's the gift, man.
Yeah.
You get to do that.
I feel like they're the white flag in all these films and on all these festivals. You're like, here you are, this diverse, this culture, this cast and crew of everyone that you could possibly think of, and here's the white flag of we're all the same. If you could just hone in on some comedy and understand and put your differences aside for 90 minutes and see we're all the same. And that's what I think we're missing. So I'm so glad that you guys are here, that we have the opportunity to see this. And Rochelle, that she had to do her due diligence and watch the movie. And I know she went back and forth with the three of you guys, for you and Royce, like crazy. And she finally watched it, and she says to us, "This is probably one of the funniest movies I have ever seen."
What? That's amazing.
And she said, "I'm not just saying that." She said, "One of the funniest movies." She said, "It's not about being Muslim women. It's just a rom-com.
Right.
It's about," right, and Rochelle's Jewish, and her whole big community is in Delray. but it's about being a mom and kids and rom-com and getting married and having careers and being a career woman. She said one of the best movies ever.
Oh my God, that means so much, Rochelle. Okay,
Thank you, Rochelle.
Yes, thank
Hope
you,
you're listening to
Rochelle.
this.
She's in the movie, but she's been owning a
35
movie,
years, right?
35 years.
Wow.
She's seen every movie that goes through there. And she looked at me, she says, this is really, really good. And I looked like her, at her, okay.
Would we ever send you anything really, really good?
No, I wanted to take credit, but I hadn't even seen the short on it. I said, of course it's good. What do you think? She says, no, you don't understand. I don't understand. This is Saturday night. You got to see this dance. I says, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there.
Gosh, I'm so glad.
It's an amazing accomplishment, you know, and this whole week, starting yesterday, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, this is all about the reach of accomplishing something and looking back and saying, man, that was good. 10 years makes this even a more wonderful story.
Thank you.
Because if you had done it in one, you wouldn't have the same impact
Agreed.
that you have in 10.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that. 10 years and you got it done?
I know, thanks, thank you.
It's
I remember
still
Roy
not
was,
over.
I still not over. Roy was like, we were on year 7, and I was like, Roy, I'm done with this. I'm done. He's like, man, it's been 7 years. What's one more? I'm like, okay, Roy.
I have a little bit of patience when it comes to this
He's
stuff.
super patient, but I mean, it's because of him that we kept
Well,
we kept at it.
What was the pivotal change that got you from where you were the past 9 years to where you are now? That it's, I want to ask you guys where it's being released, because Royce told me, but I want to ask you what's going on. What changed it? What got it over that to the next hump?
I think, I mean, like most films, we try to launch a film at a festival, a reputable festival. That's the idea, to get a little buzz from the industry and so forth. So I think that festival decision is what kicks it off for the first phase of distribution, which is within festivals. And then the second one was the biggest surprise that also we didn't expect, which is very rare that it happens to a lot of indie films, is that Sony International Pictures decide to take the film and release it worldwide. And maybe this is still a little bit of a private information, but it's in social media, so maybe I'll say most airlines right now have American-ish actually playing.
Super exciting.
So yeah,
That's amazing.
I know. Thank you.
yeah,
Yes.
we're getting messages from Hong Kong. People are seeing it. You know,
So cool.
many different international flights, and then so yeah, I think we started our theatrical run now about a month ago almost.
Yeah.
We did about 16 or 15 theaters so far. At IFC in New York, it was extended at least 3 or 4 times, I believe.
Yeah.
And now we're in Florida. And
And
thanks
this
to
is
you
our
guys.
last. This is our last run before it's released video on demand on Tuesday, November 14th. You can get it anywhere you rent or buy movies.
Yes.
That's incredible.
So the journey
How
is
does
not
it
over.
feel?
I mean,
I gotta ask you, 10 years in the making, how does this feel?
thank you for asking that. I mean, it feels surreal. I actually said my biggest goal as a filmmaker is a film purist, so I really wanted the movie in the theaters. That was like so huge for me. And when I walked in LA and it was in the theaters, I was like, okay, guys, I'm done. I can die now. Like, I accomplished what I want in life. Like, that's how elated I was about it, because I never thought that I could ever get that, particularly telling a story about Muslim women, you know? So I'm incredibly elated. There's no words for how I feel. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well deserved. Well deserved.
Thank
How about
you
you,
so
Roy?
much.
It feels amazing. You know? No, I don't have too many words for it, but within the team, whenever we get, just like what Iman said, when someone that's an audience member sends us a message or talks to us during a screening, that's the moment that really makes you feel that everything was worth it, because it was definitely a very hard battle to get here, you know. And I hope everyone can have that opportunity if you're making your next film soon or anything. So it's just have patience, don't give up. It's a long road, it takes time, and you need a lot of angels. We had so many. And I would say you guys are also part of the angels now too.
You are.
Thanks
Thank
to you guys, we met Rochelle and, you know, Movies Del Rey. We're there now too, so.
Well, wait till you meet her brother Glenn. He's gonna love you. I gotta
Who's
tell you,
Glenn?
you guys have the personality. Back in the day, it was a little movie stuff that I did, but back in the day, the people that were in charge of this thing did not have this personality. And you guys have such a different niche. I too, 18 years old, I'm entering my 18th year doing this. I quit 127 times. I lost more money than anything else. I didn't want to do this anymore because I didn't think it was going to work.
Yeah.
And they kept pushing me, and they kept pushing me. And then 8 years passed, and I met this one. And she finally said, okay, let's do this. After 4 years of me asking her, saying no, 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 and some more no, she said yes. And we built it, and we go. And then we met the producers, which are, we don't call them interns, they're producers. And it's like levels and levels. So I know exactly what 10 years.
Congratulations! This is amazing. That's so awesome.
We're getting there. You know, we need a bigger boat. But the funny thing is, we get to meet people like you.
Yeah.
You know, that light her up. And to us, that's all we ask for. That's the only thing we're looking for this thing. So we're going to be there strong tomorrow.
Can't wait.
I'm hoping that you'll come and see the JC concert tonight. I don't know if you have anything to do tonight.
What time is the concert? We do have a screening.
7:30.
7:30. So our first screening is in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, Cinema Paradiso. It's playing tonight at 7, tomorrow at 1, and then Sunday at 1. So we're going to all those screenings as well.
We're doing Q&A, and then we're
But maybe we can catch the after party if there is one.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen. But you guys are always invited here. This is your home in Florida, whatever you need.
Thank you so much. That
thank
means
you.
a lot.
And this is so nice, having it seen at first from the internet, how it looked like, and now behind the scenes, you know. If no one's here, obviously, if you're watching it, there are many rooms here with so many people.
It's awesome.
I don't know what's happening, and so, you know, it's so nice. And I do want to recognize Royce too. So thanks to Royce that we're here.
Thank
She's
you, Royce.
definitely one of the. She's the quiet one, but usually it's the quiet one that runs the game. I think, you know.
She's quiet, but yet not so quiet.
Really?
She's quiet until she's not, and then we need this, we need that.
I'm not
still
quiet anymore.
Right, I still need an answer. She's like, I still need an answer. One of the best producers we have that keeps me on my toes.
Wow.
And pushes until I give her an answer as to a date or what we're doing, or here's the bio, did you get the bio? Here are the questions, did you get the questions? Over and over again. Today she says, I'll send them to you again so you have everything. But she pushes, and that's what you need in this business, right?
She's persistent.
We can't
She's
do
very
this
persistent.
alone.
Yeah.
And her mom was telling me the other day, I didn't realize Turkey is so anti-Semitic, at least in the area where they were from, and how difficult it is for your kids to get educated, for Jewish kids to get educated in Turkey without being in a private school due to the anti-Semitism.
Yeah, you know, like any country, right? So there's everything, you know. So I have tons of great friends that are Muslim, and you know, they're not anti-Semitic, but like any country, you know, everywhere there's all kinds of people, and yeah, it's so unfortunate that sometimes we get to see only one side of things, but there's many dimensions to everything, as we know. And my mother, she still lives in Turkey, you know, and she's very happy. And but in terms of the school system, yeah, there's like private schools there, and there's state schools, and you know, every school has their own sort of focus, you know. And without going too much into depth, I definitely recommend people to visit Turkey. You know, it's a beautiful country as well. So yeah.
I was there.
Really?
Yeah.
When I got married to Michelle, I bought a rug in Istanbul.
Yeah, probably. At the
I
Grand
bought a
Bazaar?
rug. They gave you the little tea when you visit the
Grand Bazaar?
The bazaar. When you walk in off the boat, they give you a little tea.
Yeah.
And I was feeling really good. I don't know
Yes.
what was in it, so I drank a few more. And I bought a rug. I bought this big rug, bigger than that, Awaken, and it was $1,200.
Wow.
And the guy said to me, I would like to trade your wife for 200 heads of ram.
Oh.
So I said, if you can get the rams on the boat, you got a deal. I got back to New York. I sold the rug for $5,000.
Wow, you turned that around.
My ex-wife, who now has the rug, says absolutely not.
That was a long
And
time ago.
John-
Think about how much money that was then.
Lord, she says absolutely not. So I have fond memories of Constantinople and all that marble you have going. But I'm gonna tell you, Turkey was an amazing.
It's a
amazing land.
magical place.
It was the best.
Magical place. And what's next? You guys are doing another film collaboration?
Yeah, there's a few things in the pipeline, you know. In production, the way it goes is like you have a few things in the oven, you're trying to cook them all at the same time. Iman has a lot of things that she's already done, even after American-ish. We're working on a bunch of films together. I don't know if you want to mention a few, but...
Yeah, so our second feature that I'm working on that I'm really wanting to make, it's called Lady Balls, and it's about 3 girls skipping school to go to MTV's The Grind, set in Panama City in the 1990s, which was actually my story, which I did. Yes. So that's the one we're really trying to get off the ground now that I really want to make, because it's like my passion project.
Yeah, it's like an action comedy.
We have one
you know.
Panama City story. My son went there for fraternity, whatever gala it was, and after Panama City, it got kicked out of UF, and the fraternity ZBT, and they had to disband. And ZBT no longer existed because of what happened.
I
in Panama
remember
City
that
in UF.
story.
That was my son. Yes.
That's amazing.
I went to Panama City to date a girl, and you guys had the largest whatever for the colleges, whatever the hell that's called.
Spring break, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
it was the biggest in the world.
Yeah.
And I went there and I ran the hell out of there because that place was scary, dangerous, and it did not stop.
It's a whole life of its own.
Oh,
it's
God.
So you remember the story, yeah, you know. And then they got absorbed by Sigma Chi, which is, if you know anything, ZBT and Sigma Chi just do not go together, but they did at
Well,
University of Florida, and it all worked at the end. But
nice.
What a drama that one was.
I know, exactly.
Someone threw something off a balcony or two and hit someone on the bottom, and it was, yeah.
What?
I don't know that story.
I mean, neither. I don't want to know that story. I want to know what flights is the movie on.
So it's on Air Canada, Virgin Atlantic, Cataway Pacific, and Emirates. So far as what
So
we know.
far as we know.
We don't, like, Sony, because they own the film, they kind of just do their thing, but we don't really know what it is, so we just keep on getting pictures of different airlines. So those are the ones that are on there now.
Take a plane to Canada.
Yeah,
I know, exactly. I was like, we should just get on a Canadian flight so we can see
I
it.
took American Airlines down here from New York. It wasn't playing there, so American Airlines, if you're listening, you know,
Put it
now
on
is your
there.
time.
Royce,
It's
you
called
think you send them an
American-ish.
email or something?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I will try.
Oh, yeah, thanks, Rosie.
Yeah.
But she's fantastic. And what do you tell your students?
About?
Following their dreams, writing the film.
How do you keep them motivated?
Patience, right.
Well, so they're very excited because I think I'm probably the only UF faculty that's ever like had a movie in theaters that's been a director. So they're really excited. I actually took 14 of them to the Americanist premiere in LA, which was insane. And my college supported me. It was so cool. And so we did a whole tour of LA. We went to Netflix. They were at the premiere. So they were super excited. And so they always say, like, I'm so happy that I have an accomplished filmmaker that I'm learning from, because usually in colleges it's like something from, you know, they're more teaching instead of doing. Practical. So yeah, I mean, the biggest thing that, like, I love watching my students grow because I get them when they're younger and I get them all the way until they're seniors. And so slowly seeing them hone their craft on how to just, like, I always have to beat YouTube out of them, which kills me because, you know, they don't frame a shot because of YouTube. But then also just encouraging them to tell their story because they really believe that their story is not important. And so I always say, like, your story is incredibly important. Someone wants to learn from it, someone wants to hear from it, no matter what your background is, and it's unique. And so we really pull from that in terms of trying to tell stories. So, and then, yeah, they've all been on, because it has been 10 years. I remember that when I first went there, I was like, you guys want to come to the movie and be on the film? And it was like 5 years later, like, we didn't shoot it. They were like, when are you making this movie, man? When are you making this movie? So for 10 years, I've had some students from every year, like, on the film in some way.
That's
so
amazing.
It's been really great.
It's
But
hilarious.
I know, and I'm like, okay, let's move on. I'm ready to move on. Let's move on to the next movie, you know.
And
So yeah.
I don't have students. I don't teach at a school, but I have a lot of young filmmakers that I work with or meet or sometimes be the mentor. And I always say I have to remind them that the currency of any film is actually the people behind it. So number one is definitely you have to surround yourself, just like you said earlier in this conversation, with the right people that you can blossom, partners, you know. And but the other thing is, you know, have a patience and be open for change. I think that's very important. It's good to stay true to your vision and everything, but sometimes, you know, things can change and the world changes. Sometimes you might have to respond to that. You know, publicists and marketers and distribution people, they have wisdom in different ways that we don't as artists. And so sometimes their recommendations go a long way. So, you know, I think don't give up, push through. 10 years, it could take that long. Don't give up. Look, sometimes it takes
How do you
20.
stay so cool about it? Is he always this cool?
Yes, Roy
I have no
is.
choice.
No, Roy is a special person.
No, you're the special
No,
one.
he is always super calm, always so positive.
I see that.
And
Really? Wow.
and you know, me and my co-creator from this film, you know, we're like sisters, but we fight a lot. And it was always Roy and Paul that always had to calm us down and, like, step it back. And he never gets frazzled, and that's why he's an amazing producer. Like,
Mwah.
such an amazing person. Yes.
Because you have a lot of personalities to balance.
I guess that's what it is. It is complicated. You know, there's behind the scenes, you know, what happens, you know, at home is different than obviously probably here, just like most of us. We play a little bit. But yeah, it's I'd like to think that I'm usually the person that's the negotiator between people, linking them up. You know, I think that's the key. And I think if not for positivity, what else? You know, we can't bring each other down, right? So it's like, but you have to find the right people. There was one filmmaker that came up to me. They were working on this film for 15 years, and it was shot real time. So every year for about a month they shoot. And so they're trying to finish the film, and they couldn't. So the producer and the director came up to me without mentioning names. He's like, what should we do? I watched the film. It was so nice. And I'm like, you know what? Make another film in between. Continue with this for another 15. You know, it's crazy. They were not happy about it. Probably most people wouldn't. But I really believed in that film so much that I think you have more room here. Stick to it. Make other films in between. Take this to 30 years or whatever, a little bit longer. Because it really fits the DNA of the project. If you invested 15 years, what's another 15 years? That's what I think.
You said it with a straight face.
Lifetime.
Maybe I'm a
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
But then it's that much of a bigger project, right? So it's like it really fits. Maybe I'm crazy, maybe not, but here we are.
I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall when he delivered that message.
You would say something like that.
I would, but who the hell listens to me? They listen to him.
I guess that's the producer in you.
I like making movies. I've been after the kids to make a movie, good, bad, or indifferent. I've seen good, I've seen bad, I've seen them all. It doesn't make a difference to me. It's the effort.
Yeah.
You know, it's the consistency of battling for 10 years to get it done. Just shows what kind of person you are.
You're so sweet. I mean, I'm going to take you home. You get all these
you
nice...
look on that screen, honey. When I saw that yesterday, we got to put our promo up there that they did. And I was with somebody one time when we saw the first concert, same lady, and she started running up and down the theater. That's us. That is us. I mean, because growing up in the movies in the Bronx, never thought in a million years. But you gotta take the bow. You really do, because 10 years in your life is something that people don't understand what 10 years of this was like.
Yeah, it's my entire
Not
child's
even Roy.
life.
Roy, he knows it, but he can't feel it. He can only sense it, and he can mold it, and he can make it successful. But man, what a freaking message, man. That is
Thank you
unreal.
so much. It means a lot. It's such an honor to be here.
She's about to cry. I know her.
Questions?
I don't have any questions, but Iman, you can feel at home because Freddie just gave you nickname.
Oh, thank you. I'm so honored.
All of us has our nickname, so let's give a Roy nickname so he can feel at
Good
home.
luck.
We give everybody here nicknames because Freddie can't remember.
So you're going to give Roy a nickname so he can feel at home?
Actually, you gave me a nickname.
I can't. This is honor over here. I can't do it.
I think you did already last time, unless I'm mistaken. Roy Ayers or something? Was it you? Somebody said something like that. Maybe it wasn't
probably
you.
her.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like someone said
We'll have to
something.
look up the nickname. We'll have to come up with a nickname.
All good, guys.
Yes, everyone pretty much has a nickname in here. So much so that yesterday at the kids' premiere, one of our old producers was there, and I looked at him, I go, that's the other Josh, and that was JP.
JP.
Because we had, at one point we had 3 or 4 Joshes in here. So each Josh, this happens to be Josh, because we've circled back to Josh. So we went to Josh Squared, JP, Josh Cubed, and then now we're back to Josh again. So we're on the next cycle of Joshes.
It just
Kinda
keeps
funny.
it fresh. It keeps it, because they know, and she didn't expect to be on the set either. They know that I'm going to put them in front of a camera because you can't really know how to operate on someone, to use a doctor's reference, unless they give you the scalpel and you get in there. And you are the doctor of comedy. You can prove it. You've done the walk.
Appreciate you. I'm going to use that.
You've come up and shown people, with persistency, it can be done. I know you pulled your hair on and says, I want to quit. But when you surround yourself with good people, man, good things happen.
100%,
And I love the message that you're all putting forward of just inclusion and fun, right? Just have some fun, have some laughs, feel your family, and network with your community. So we're honored to have you here.
So honored to be here. Thank you so much for having us. This is so beautiful.
Please, everyone, join us tomorrow night at a special screening of American-ish, Movies of Del Rey. Doors open at 7, movie airs at 7:30, and you too can ask questions of Roy and Iman. Royce, I think, of course, you're going to be there. I know Josh is going to be there. Crew will be there. Just come on out. And special student pricing. And if you need help with any pricing anyways, just give us a call and we'll make accommodations just so you can get out there and see it.
That's right. And, we have 4 great days lined up. We had yesterday, which turned out pretty good.
It was
200
great.
people strong, whatever. We have the concert tonight for the J.C. Dreesen show. It's going to be your last chance unless you buy it at the door. Come on out and support a vet. Which we're probably going to end the show with the vet piece, and then American-ish on Saturday. You
And then
ain't
Sunday?
gonna be disappointed on that piece. Come on out and support. And you know what? Use these to get educated. Just come on out and laugh a little bit. And then on Sunday we have the Alzheimer's Walk. 11 to 1, we're going to bring in our entertainers. It was so good to see Megan last night. She is so
came in,
excited.
she was like, vroom.
It's the first time Megan's ever been on a public stage.
So she's
First
singing at the
time.
amphitheater before what? About 3,000 people on the walk in Alzheimer's.
And she says to me, am I going second, third? And I says, no, honey, you open it. She said, what? Says, you open it. And she's never done this before.
Oh, Josh, we got to pack that up today, too.
So we had a lot of fun.
We had a lot of packing to do.
And listen, they told me I can push them, so here comes the pushes. To use one of Roy's famous lines, you got to keep going until you get it wrong, because you always get it right, baby. You got to keep going.
All right, have a great weekend, everyone. Stay safe. Please join us for some of these events. If you've got any questions, you can always give us a call at 866-224-5422. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all those who have served. Proceeds of tonight's event are going to Honor Flight, Southeast Florida. And if you can't attend and you just want to be a part of the donations to support the Honor Flight, the next Honor Flight is April 6th. It is their 50th anniversary, World War II, Vietnam, and Korean vets. So let us know.
That's right. So we'll see you guys tonight. And if not, enjoy your Veterans Day over the weekend. If you can't make it out there, we'll see you again on Monday.
Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you Monday, 9 a.m. drive time.
And don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.